All right, yo, 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 it's your boy Yoshikidneo, and we are back in the world of Boridil, the adventures in Boridil. And today we introduce Kevin's new character. I believe her name is Angelica. And last time we had played, unfortunately, Saberwulf had died. Um, there was a chance for peace, but unfortunately, as well, one of the party members wasn't having any of that shit. So, you do what you got to do in that situation. Most creatures, if they see that they're in overwhelming odds and they try to make for peace and the enemy doesn't go for peace, they're going to try to make sure that it hurts because if if you just allow them to steamroll over you, especially if you're trying to protect, like these lizard folk are protecting their home. They don't know who these people are. They don't know why they're in here, like lighting up the place with fireballs. So they're doing their best, and the best way to protect your home against invading force is to take as many of them with you as you can. So that's what ended up happening. But old characters are fun, but it's also it's invigorating to start a new character as well. And I believe that Kevin is extremely excited to play this new character. And I guess we're gonna find out today just how excited he is. So hopefully you enjoy.
Thank
Another physical
God. I
therapy.
was I was gonna say if Snoopy is our frontline man only, we
Yeah,
have a
it's
big
it's
problem.
definitely it's definitely a frontline character, like someone
We
who's
have
gonna
too many
be
soft characters.
right. Everybody needs to concentrate on some shit. Like
We
everybody has to concentrate to do
we
something.
have two blasters, a healer, and a glass cannon.
Right. So
We-
but I'm good.
Wait,
I'm
who's the
beef.
glass?
Me, the rogue.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
one thing that's cool about my character too is the fact that I can heal myself in between my turns and stuff. So it's pretty cool. So
Are
I'm
you
beefy.
are you a
I'm a beefy
fighter?
character.
No, you'll see.
I'm
Is
thinking
it a?
paladin, probably.
I hope it's a paladin. Paladins are fucking awesome.
Paladins have healing abilities, so
I would play paladin if I died next. I think,
I'm keeping it hush hush. So
but
we'll
but
see
I don't know.
when I
I have
break into
so
my
many
character's
characters.
voice. when I break into my character's voice, you guys will see.
Does he have an
Okay.
accent like this?
Hey y'all.
Oh yeah, ¿qué
Okay.
tal este? That's what Saberwolf's accent should have been.
Dude, I was debating on
My
it
name's
for a
here.
long time. I was like debating on if I wanted to do like an Irish accent, but like I don't know. No, I'm not gonna do it.
I thought about doing a British accent, and then I was like, I don't want to think about it for that long. So
Right.
You can do
I
a
mean, but like
Mexican accent.
going by like Saberwolf's whole thing, like I got used to it after a while. So like even outside of D&D, I was like doing his voice, and it got scary.
oh, nice.
I thought about doing a Scooby Doo accent when I, and then I didn't want my throat to hurt after I
Ruh-roh,
said
Raggy.
Zoinks!
ruh-roh. Hi, Chair.
Gerald, are you there, dude?
Yeah.
Okay, tight. Just want to make sure.
The AFT.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into it then. So the last time we left our heroes, you guys were face to face with Innis Craft, and she was shouting obscenities at you guys because of the fact that you went and adopted 3 girls for Innis Craft's 3 girls. And she had strictly forbidden them from doing so, but they didn't understand why, and obviously that means that you guys didn't understand why. But she had told you that essentially she had made a deal with Lord Martillo, who is the owner of the orphanage, that she would not adopt any children, as he doesn't really trust her or the maidens to do so. But now that that has been broken and you can't really just, bring them back, now you have to help Innis Craft with 3 tasks, is what she has claimed as your payment or punishment. Either way you can think of it, it's pretty much true both ways. She doesn't have anything for you just yet, but she would be able to contact you when she did need to give you guys your first job. She left, and then you guys were able to speak with Nile and Gildred for just a little bit. And Gildred had told you guys that she's been fine. She's been learning a lot about her, innate abilities already, even though it's only been a day. But she's very excited for what she'll be able to do because the maidens say that she has great promise. As you guys were leaving, you had been given a special little amulet that essentially whatever gem you end up putting into it would end up giving you a +1 to that ability score in layman's terms. I actually think that I forgot to make a handout for that, so I apologize. But I don't know. Let's look. Nope. The Pendant of Abilities. So you guys have that available to you, and whoever's attuned to it can switch the gems out to switch whatever skill point they want for for while it's in there. But if you were to give it to another person, they'd have to attune to it. So it's fairly useful. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. As you guys were leaving, Ennis Craft came running back and said that she had her first task for you guys. And in the sky, you saw this lady flying on a little broomstick, and she had landed, and Ennis Craft had introduced her as Tamsin, as well as Tammy, as well as Satan, all types of stuff. Ennis Craft said that your first task was to pretty much protect her and aid her on her quest. What her quest is up to her to tell you if she wants to. But she was going the same general direction that you guys were headed, and that's how Tamsin joined the party. So you guys chit-chatted with her for a little bit. I don't think she opened up all that much to you just yet, but maybe soon. It has been a couple days on the road now. You guys hitched a ride with a caravan that was heading to the town of Greendrift. And this caravan was mostly like construction workers and stuff like that. They were telling you that they were rebuilding the town and sprucing it up after the Gnolls had invaded and taken it over. And now that they're gone, since they left to go to the Sladoran Empire, they're able to start rebuilding. From the town itself, you guys had inquired about the Green Dragon, which they said that they're pretty sure it's just a myth. They've never seen it before. But what they have seen is a waterfall that is to the west of them that they say that if you go to the top of it and throw a large amount of coin, then your wishes will come true. And they pointed you to that towards that waterfall and sort of gave you rough directions on how to get there. So you guys set off on your way. As you were marching, you heard screams coming from the forest, and you decided to investigate. And what you ended up finding, thanks to Snoopy's stealth, Snoopy was able to stealth in, take a look, and see that there was a broken carriage, essentially, with a couple of bodies that were hanging outside of it, freshly killed. Let's go to the map. But Snoopy also wandered into a bush that was being used as cover for a lizard folk. The lizard folk looked at him in confusion. He'd never seen a dog that was geared up as Snoopy is. So Snoopy gave him his fish that he had been holding on to for about 3 days at this point now. And the lizard folk ate it, and as Snoopy tried to get away, the lizard folk felt threatened and called out to his group, and the battle began. During the battle, it was pretty one-sided. You guys were whooping lizard folk ass. It really wasn't that much of a, or there was a vast difference between the combat prowess of the party versus this group of lizard folk. But towards the end of the combat, the shaman that had summoned a bunch of these little snakes had appeared and was the only one able to speak the common tongue and called out to you guys to essentially call truce. He didn't want to lose any more people, and he saw that they had mistaken your power against their own. Well, everyone put down their arms except for our good friend Vikavor, who decided to go ahead and fireball a large group of lizard folks, instantly incinerating them, which ended up leading to a bunch of lizard folk ganging up on Saberwulf and putting him down for good. And to make matters worse, Tamsin cast another fireball in the area, which incinerated Saberwulf's corpse and most of his items and treasures and stuff like that. So everybody sort of gathered around and said a couple of words, just to see their friend off, and that is where we will begin our session. Is with you guys finishing up saying your goodbyes. I believe Snoopy is curled up in the ashes of Saberwulf. Quinn is currently praying. Tamsin is hanging out, sort of looking over everything. And Vikavor is looting. Which I'll just go ahead and take care of Vikavor as he runs over and starts looking at stuff. He shouts out to you guys, well, they didn't really have that much, guys, but I mean, hey, I'll never say no to 100 silver pieces.
I'm gonna put the mask of Saberwulf in a little pocket pouch I have and hold on for it for safekeeping.
Okay. Other things that you do find on Saberwulf's remains is you do see his little satchel of coin that he had. You also see those gloves that he had purchased. And unfortunately, the whip dagger is completely destroyed. There's also a cloak of the manta ray.
Ooh. Can I wield those gloves?
I believe they require attunement, but technically, yeah, you would be able to hold on to them and use them.
I don't
And
think
yes, they
they're
do.
gonna be.
They do require attunement. Vikavor looks back to you guys and sort of scratches his head and goes, the rest of the stuff that these guys had were just like camping gear and stuff like that. Is anyone hungry?
I have my fish.
Vikavor
take some
starts to
food.
rummage through some stuff, and he pulls out a couple packages of preserved rations. Everything else looks beaten up. But here, if everybody wants a ration or something, then we can eat now. He looks at Snoopy, who's very upset, and he kind of scratches the side of his neck and goes, wow, that was weird how that all happened, huh? Who'd have thought?
I kind of give him a little glare. And then I'm gonna tell Goopy to grab a Vigilus and bring it over to me.
Okay. Which Goopy
And then
does.
I'll dismiss Goopy and unfold Vigilus.
Okay. What is Quinn doing currently?
I don't see Gerald in here.
Yeah, I just realized I wasn't logged in. Hold on.
What is Tamsin doing currently?
Hey, Charlie, no.
Tamsin is just kind of like standing awkwardly off to the side because she didn't really know anyone, doesn't really know anyone all that well yet.
I want to hand Quinn the Cloak of the Manta Ray. I think that's probably gonna. I can't really carry too much because I'm not very big.
Okay.
Or do we really need to like keep track of who has? Yeah, we probably should. 'Cause we
I
have our
keep track of who's attuned to it. Otherwise, it
does
can
the-
all pretty much just go into that group loot
Okay, cool.
thing for now.
Because Manta Ray's not attunement.
I'm gonna put the cloak on.
Okay.
Whoa, that
Well,
looks cool.
yeah, I'll mark that you have it currently. And yeah, so when you put the hood up, you can breathe underwater and you gain a swimming speed of 60 feet. And it does require an action to pull the hood up or down. As Quinn is putting on the cloak, is there anything else that he is doing?
So I'm gonna I guess finish up praying. Oh, never mind. He's not even here, so I can't even RP it. I'm just gonna finish praying.
Okay. I'm assuming he is in Ethan.
Yeah.
How upsetting. So Quinn puts the cloak on and he sits and grabs some of the ashes of Saberwulf, and you watch as he begins to pray and sort of chant under his breath. His hands start to sort of give off this green glow, and you notice that in the ashes a little sprout pops up, Quinn.
I'm gonna dig a hole near his ashes, or maybe even in them, and drop my fish in that hole. And then bury it. So that's for you, buddy.
Like you said, a sprout grows.
Yep.
Oh, like okay. I guess I'm gonna examine it real quick. It's just green.
Yeah, it's just
And
a little
whatnot.
green sprout, and as you're kind of looking at it, like you get the sense, like this odd sensation, thanks to your druid abilities, that this is somehow going to bring the life essence of Saberwulf to wherever you plant it.
Oh. I don't think I have anything to put this in. If I were to like dig it up.
Vikavor
I
kind of
asked.
looks at you and goes, "There's jars and stuff in that cart."
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna, I guess, do that. Examine the cart for a jar, and then put it, and carefully dig this sprout up.
Okay. Easy
I'll be
enough.
back,
You
by the
find
way.
a jar. Okay, yeah. You find a jar. You put some dirt into it. You put some of the ashes with the sprout into it. And then you sort of, I don't think you would, I don't know how exactly you preserve it, but maybe you just hold it for a little while. And as you're walking back to the group, you guys hear the snapping of twigs from the north of the map.
Like, how far?
It seems to be fairly close, like within 50 feet. Kevin, are you stealthy in this approach to these characters, or are you out and about?
Out and about.
Okay. Snoopy, as you hear the snapping of the twig, your ears perk up and you look up and you see this 7-foot tall, very bulky, red-skinned, long-horned woman walk out from behind a tree, and she's wearing this sort of spiked leather, and she's got these two, or actually, never mind. Why am I doing this? Kevin, explain to us what your character looks like, please.
All right, she, like you said, a 7-foot tall woman, definitely athletic build, a little thicker than what you will be used to seeing. And as she's like walking out, she has these glowing yellowish orange eyes, so you can spot her like out the shadows. But yeah, and she's decked out with spiky armor, and yeah, that's and you can see like in her hands, has cestus attached to both of her hands. Yeah, pretty much everything described is in that picture for the most
Type. I will reveal the photo to all of you if you go to the journal and into the players tab. In a second, you will see it, so that you can take a look at. Actually, that is Kevin's own drawing.
Ooh.
Took me 2 days to finish. It's so stressful, but it was lit.
That's
Got
awesome,
hyped up.
Kevin.
Appreciate it.
Did Roll20 update?
They probably did something. I don't think they've updated lately. Changelog says the last time they made an update was... Actually, the last time they update... Oh, they changed... It's on the help desk. It was June 3rd. Which didn't really do much. June 2nd, they updated the dynamic lighting and stuff like that. Are you having issues or something?
No, it just looks different.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, this hulking woman is walking towards y'all. She doesn't seem to be very aggressive. Well, her looks are quite aggressive, but she doesn't seem to be approaching you in an aggressive manner of any sort. Kevin, you end up seeing this group sort of huddled around this large smoldering location. You can definitely see the remains of what looks to be humanoid creatures, but you can't tell exactly what they are. You have your best guess because of what you're here for, but they are within 50 feet of you. What do you do?
I approach as I'm seeing everybody like huddled around. I'm like completely looking past them and looking towards the broken down cart. What a shame. Well then, guess I need to go ahead and get what I need to grab. I start walking towards the cart past them, completely ignoring them.
Okay, your token is, yeah, you see it.
I kind of just like look up at it and ready to defend myself.
Vikavor would do the same.
And as I approach the cart, these lizard folk corpses, like they're intact, right? Those weren't burned, right?
There's the two that are in front of you, and then one of the ones over here are fine.
I lean down and break one of the arms of the lizard folk, and like squeeze the blood off into a vial that I pull out.
Okay. Yeah, you guys watch this hulking woman take one of the lizard folk bodies and manipulate it, and you hear the crunch and cracking of the humerus of the lizard folk as she just tears this arm off, and as it's dripping with blood, she pulls out a couple vials and starts to fill them.
All right, this should do it. And then I get back up and pack the vials back up into my bag, and I turn to them and walk toward. All right. So what brings you four out here?
What brings you out here?
Well, I think I should be the one asking the questions, considering I hear 2 explosions, along with a weird howl.
I'm like baffled. Quinn is kind of baffled by what this person. So I'm gonna whisper to Snoopy. So you saw that, right? What this person just did.
Yes and no.
Does it look like Angelica can tell that I'm not a dog?
No, I mean, she sees you outfitted, and it's not 100% uncommon to see a dog like outfitted and like barding and stuff. It is a little weird to see you carrying a weapon, but to the best of her knowledge, she could consider it like one of you guys just don't want to hold the weapon, so you put it on the dog. So, for all intents and purposes, she has no idea that you're anything but a beagle.
Okay.
Yeah. Heard 2 large explosions. I heard a large howl, and altogether I just hear action. I've been around here, observing these lizard folk for a while. It just so happens that a few of them get killed, and I'm assuming these ashes that I see here are some of the lizard folk as I speak.
Yeah, they attacked this cart and then they attacked us, so we defended ourselves.
Well, I guess it can't be helped. I got what I needed. So, what do you plan on doing out here?
We're looking for a bigger lizard.
Taking in the scenery.
Yeah, considering this whole entire area is lizard folk territory, I would assume that you guys would tread carefully. That's why I kept my distance. But now that a few of them were dispersed, I guess I had to get what I need to grab. And you said a big lizard. I'm assuming, well, the rumors of a dragon are true.
Well, we're hoping so.
All right. Hold on. And I turned away. Yeah. So if I could get a sample from that dragon, that would be awesome as well.
Brady, I was able to put the things in his ashes, right?
Yep.
Like, I was able to find a container.
Well, let's start with what's your name?
Sorry about that. My name is Angelica. But you can call me Angie for short.
We're pleased to meet you, Angie.
Likewise. Your name?
Our name is Tamsin.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are my compatriots.
Your name's compatriots?
I'm Vicavor.
Vicavor.
I choose not to answer.
And I walk over. Hmm. Your name?
His name is Snoopy.
No. Snoopy. That's quite a weird name for a man your size. But I guess we can't choose our names, right? It's whatever we're born.
Wait, what? Oh,
He's talking to
you-
Quinn, not
you're
the dog.
talking to Q.
All right. Where is Snoopy?
Snoopy's
I'm
on top of
Saberwulf.
Saberwulf's ashes.
Oh, and I squat down to Snoopy. And who is this little guy?
He's Snoopy too.
Thanks,
Oh.
Uncle.
Hello,
You
Snoopy too.
usually see Snoopy like really excited to meet new people. But he's very somber, tails tucked, and I say, "Hi, I'm Snoopy."
Hi. What's the matter, little buddy?
My best friend just died.
Huh. Best friend. So, there were 5 of you?
There were.
What happened to the 5th?
The lizard folk got to him.
Huh. Shame. Well, eh. I have my condolences. I stand back. Well, you said that you're going after a rumored dragon, so are those rumors true?
We hope they're true, because that's what we're trying to go after.
Well, I don't have to leave anytime soon. Would you happen to mind if I accompany you to see this dragon for myself?
Sure. Can you
All
fight?
right. Well, I wouldn't be out here by myself if I didn't know how to fight.
True. Or you could be stupid, I guess.
Well, in my line of work, I've actually learned to be able to be fair by myself. I have
And what is your line of work?
Well,
I'm an entertainer.
entertainer? No, I'm far from that. It's more of like, sort of, kind of like a bounty. I collect information for a researcher, one of my friends. That's why you've seen me extracting blood from those corpses over there. I was outside this territory, observing the lizard folk, in the hopes of me eventually approaching them in some way and befriending, and hopefully getting a blood sample in a less violent way. But seemingly, since I happen to have some fresh corpses here, I might as well take advantage, right?
Well, we're glad that we were able to accommodate your needs.
Huh. But, well, hopefully I can be of assistance. But, what are you going to do about the fellow right here? I'm assuming those are his ashes?
Tamsin kind of just looks at the others, because this is up to them since they knew him longer.
And you, I'll look over to Quinn again. I didn't get your name again. Unless your name is Snoopy.
Vikavor kind of pipes up and goes, "It's really just weird that you just come over here and now all of a sudden you want to join us on our quest. How do we know you weren't following us if you've been here for so long?"
Well, I could take you over to where I had my fire set. Been here for a while. Trying to communicate with them as I walk towards Vikavor. Trying to communicate with the lizard folk. Obviously, I can't speak lizard folk.
As you walk closer, he kind of steps back and goes, "I like to maintain my distance, COVID and all."
The hell is COVID?
It's
Yeah.
bad.
All right. But yes, I've been outside in the outskirts camping out.
Haven't you noticed
Observing
those
your
towers
man-
that Boridil's been making? Those 5G towers?
5G. What is this stuff that you're talking about right now?
Causing COVID.
What
People
is
are
COVID?
hilarious.
But yes, outside, camping out, observing their mannerisms and trying to communicate in any way I could. I was trying to look for an opening to perhaps approach them at some point. But, seemingly, since that was beaten, can't really do too much now. So just on to the next. I have no reason to be here anymore. Well, be associated with the lizard folk. Well, there's always room for a future adventure. I'm not expected back anytime soon to my employer.
Where's your home base?
So at this point, Angelica, you notice that the dog is talking to you.
And you are talking.
Was I muted when I was talking earlier?
You were, so if you
Yeah.
had said some stuff, we didn't even hear it.
Oh, that's fine.
If you want to retcon and
No,
say
it's
whatever.
fine. None of it was important.
Okay.
But
And you are talking.
sorry. I thought when I spoke earlier, I thought you just like
Went with it.
didn't care at all. I mean, arf arf.
Quick question. That's interesting. How are you talking?
Magic.
I get that, but who bestowed said magic on you?
A wizard. Actually, I don't know if he's a wizard or a sorcerer.
This would be some good research. It's interesting. My employer, my friend, she happens to be a magic user herself. So I'm wondering, it's a little too soon. I know you just met me, but is there any way I could perhaps get a blood sample?
I kind of look at him like,
I know it sounds weird. All right, it's nothing ill intended. It's just the more research I require, the more money I get. So.
Who's your employer?
That is for me to know and you to find out eventually. But I can let you know that she is located in the Yodian Empire. She happens to be an elf too, like yourself. But yeah.
maybe later, but not right now.
Yeah. No rush.
I know what blood can do in the wrong hands.
Right.
And what's that, Snoopy? Says Vikavor.
I kind of just shoot him a glance, like a glare.
Right. But yes, blood in the wrong hands is definitely a hot commodity. But my employer, she is happening to do research on different creatures. Anything interesting, I just grab for it and she gives me money, compensation for it. She studies the blood and studies each creature, what makes each creature different from each other.
Are you a blood hunter?
I mean, I guess you can say that, but I don't drink it. I just collect it, but purely out of a job. But, yeah. I'll hold you to that later. Just a small sample's fine. So, how long do you intend to stay?
Well,
So,
we want to beat up this dragon. Feeling
yeah,
a
only so.
little inadequate at this point, though.
How so?
Well, we were going to fight a dragon, and on this little side thing, we lost a dear friend.
That's fair enough. It's understandable. Well, yeah, I can see why you'd need a moment before you can actually keep moving. If you don't mind, you mind if I look into this cart, see if there could be anything interesting?
Go ahead.
I walk away from the party.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me investigation as you look through. For some reason you are on Whisper. Just so everyone knows, his first roll is a 6.
That's like my investigation skills.
As you're looking through, most of it's all broken glass. You can sniff, or as you sniff the air, you can smell sort of the stench of like wine, and you also see a bunch of different, like a couple candles that seem to have fallen out. Mostly like camping gear stuff, as well as things to like what looks to be able to make their own meals and things like that, and to sort of present them in a sort of fancy sort of way. They don't seem to have anything particularly useful. You do notice that the chest that is busted open and sitting to the side of the cart is completely empty. Not a single piece of treasure is left.
Oh, that's a real shame. And then what about the bodies? Can I look through the bodies?
Yeah. As you look at them, you see 3 humans. 2 of them are older. You guess maybe anywhere between the ages of 40 to 50. And then one of them is a younger man, probably in his 20s. All of them have various piercing wounds, and one of them has a large chunk of like their neck, like that portion between the neck and the shoulder. You can see bite marks coming from it.
These folks did this. It's interesting. Alright. Finish my investigation of the bodies and walk back towards the party. Well, I guess nothing can be helped for them now. What do you suppose should be done with those bodies over there?
Probably
No answer.
you can bury them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I wonder if anybody thought otherwise, like perhaps a burning.
Oh, that sounds easier.
Right.
I do like fire. Vikavor comes up.
I walk over to him. Do you know?
Yeah, some people tell me it's a problem.
Noted. And I walk away. All right. Well, you guys aren't going anywhere. It's been a while since I've talked to anybody, or had at least a legit conversation. So, I told you a little about myself. How about you tell me about yourselves?
As you ask that question, go ahead and everyone roll perception for me.
I thought you were gonna say initiative for a second.
Oh, no. That 22 is for Vikavor, who technically has his hood up, so he doesn't have advantage on it. Gerald is still AFK. I'll roll it for him. So as Angelica approaches and starts to ask you guys to give some info about yourselves, Vikavor, Snoopy, and Quinn, you guys can hear a bunch of rustling coming from your west. It doesn't sound to be too far off, maybe within a couple 100 feet or so, but you can definitely hear footsteps. And based on the amount, they are not taking their time.
I'm gonna hide.
You said what direction that was coming?
From the west.
All right, I get behind.
Where's he going?
I get up and like, all right. Move over back to the back behind this rock. I suggest you guys move out the way. Get behind.
Yeah, someone's coming, guys.
I'll hide up in this tree here.
Okay.
Which direction again?
West.
Coming from the west. And Vikavor points deeper into the forest. Quinn most likely would go back to cover as well. If you are hiding, go ahead and roll me a stealth check. So Gerald, the main thing you miss is that you guys are hearing a large amount of footsteps coming from the west, and so far everybody's sort of getting into a hiding position. So go ahead and roll me stealth, please.
Gerald's right. The Roll20 does look different on a character sheet. Like the checks are blue now.
Yeah, that's what I
Really?
was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
All mine are still black. Weird. Let's see, Vikavor for stealth. Then I need a stealth check from Quinn. There we go. Tight. So you guys all gather and hide, and about 20 seconds go by, and the noises of footsteps get louder and louder, but they're still not here. They're probably now within 50 feet of you. You maintain your positions and hide.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay. So after 10 more seconds, you see up, well, Snoopy can see these lizard folk as they come from up here. They start to gather around, and Snoopy, because of your vantage point, you can see that there's a pretty large amount of them. And as these ones get to the cliff, the others start to disperse and sort of surround the area. And as they're sniffing the air, they look and they can see all the sort of charred bodies and things like that. But they see one thing that sort of sticks out. In the ashes where the shaman was, his bone necklace remains, and the lizard folk look at it, and their eyes get really wide, and they put their mouths in the air and start making their call. You hear the rushing of more lizard folk as they all start to come from all sides and just start to surround the area. And as they do, they all have their spiked shields and their clubs out, and they're looking around. But so far, they aren't getting super close to you guys yet. They're very cautious.
I'd whisper to the rest of her, I suggest we get out of here now. They're not going to like what they see.
Agreed.
All right. Someone lead the way out of here. Don't want to be the one calling the shots, considering you just met me.
Brady, can I tell that they were looking at the necklace?
I'll say, yeah, you see them surveying the area, and as they look at the ashes, you can see them sort of glance and then see something. And as they look at it, you instinctively sort of get to where you're looking at it, and you can see that bone necklace.
Interesting.
Snoopy, you also see a very similar dressed shaman sort of fellow come out and walk up, and he has on both of his sides two bulkier, stronger looking lizard folk essentially keeping near him at all times. As he comes forward, he surveys the area. One of the lizard folk points to the ashes, and he calls out, "Who has done this? Are you still here? Do you remain?"
I want to send a message to Vikavor and say, blast him.
As this is going down, as I see them, I'm like slowly backing.
Okay. So as you start to move, what was your stealth check? You crack a tree branch, and all the lizard folk start to look that way, and they all get ready, and that's when Snoopy sends his message to Vikavor, which I think Vikavor has. Let's make sure he's got a spell slot. Yep. He goes ahead and goes, "All right, guys, here we go. This is what Snoopy wanted."
Man.
I'll look
Cast
over
a
to him.
fireball.
I'll look over to myself, two of them, and just talk to myself like, what is he about to do?
We know what he's about to do.
Guys. So Vikavor casts his fireball, and he's able to do a good amount of damage, but he's unable to kill the three with the shaman. Which, after the explosion happens, all the lizard folk look up there, and they're all kind of like shocked that that even happened. And as the smoke dissipates, the shaman looks very angry, and he points out his staff and he screams in a language that none of you understand.
So as that fireball's going on, can I like blink down and grab that necklace and then run back, like towards the group.
Sure. I'll allow you to do that.
And then as I blink down, I want to release Goopy to stand over the the area that I was in.
Okay.
I kind of want to like use him as a decoy.
All right. So you pop out and grab the necklace and then leave Goopy. I will go ahead and say everybody roll me initiative real quick. Because the surprise round was given to Vicobor, Snoopy. Well, surprise round was given to you guys, essentially. So Quinn and Tamsin, you guys can choose to do something too real quick if you want.
Fireball.
Okay.
Double fireball surprise.
I think I'll do fireball too.
Okay. Where do you do yours at? Same spot?
Yep.
That's
I
pretty
saw
good
Vicobor
damage
do it,
for-
so I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it too.
They made their save. They're barely hanging on. Is there anything Quinn wishes to do?
Get moonbeam the fuck out of it.
Can you do a moonbeam like non-lethally or no?
No.
Is that only melee?
In theory it is, but if you're able to, like, I can see how some spells, especially like cantrips, could be used, or ranged weapons could be used to not inflict lethal damage. So depending on how much damage is done when you cast those certain things is how I kind of gauge it. If it does like maximum damage, yeah, there's no non-lethal with that. That sucker was deadly. But if it was like right on the cusp of dealing or putting them to 0, then it can be dealt non-lethally.
Alright, cool.
I still need initiatives. I have to roll these guys down here so that I can roll them as a group. So does Quinn want to cast a spell or run?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast moonbeam.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Where do you put it? You should be able to click and move it.
Can I position it to where like it hits him? No, never mind. So like the guy in the middle, the shaman, the two dudes in the back are with him, right?
Correct.
All right, can I position it how I have it
Yep.
to hit both of them?
Let's see. This guy will make his save. The other guy, even if he made his save, it's too much and he'll die. He makes his save and takes half of the damage. Barely hanging on, but this other guy dies. Okay. So that is the surprise round. Top of the round, it's you, Angelica.
Oh, Brady, can you pull out Goopy for me?
Yes. Did it not work for you?
Oh, is it under Snoopy?
No, it's under the magic items, but I can move it there.
Oh, I didn't know I could summon it, but
Yeah, you should be able to. But that's okay. I'll duplicate it and put it in underneath you with Vigilus. We'll put Goopy in the other Goopy in the magic items.
oh, cool. I see how that works.
Alright,
There we go.
and that,
So, I just want to be clear on what happened on my little surprise round. During the whole thing, I blinked down, grabbed the necklace, and then hid behind this tree. Do you need me to re-roll a stealth? Or...
Yes, actually. Cool.
Nice. 2 1s in a row. Still might beat their passive perception, though.
Correct. Alright, yeah. Angelica, you're up. And Quinn shouts, "Keep the shaman alive."
and I, as is my turn, I was like, this is a pain. I casually just start walking right here and just stand here. Now in my turn right there.
Okay. This lizard folk will dash in. Put him right there. This lizard folk will dash in. This one will dash in. Tamsin, your turn.
Cool. The ones that are, well, it would be my action to fly up, right? Hold on, let me
Broom
check.
of flying. I will say that it just takes your object interaction to hop on it, so you don't have to use it. It doesn't say anything about using an action to get on it or anything, so.
Okay. So I'll get on it and I'll fly up 20 feet in the air. And then I'm going to Ray of Frost the one that's closest to me. So the one that's right in front of Angel.
Okay. A 17 does hit. And he is slowed for, I think, 10 on his next turn.
Cool.
Anything else from
And
Tamsin?
I believe that's it from me.
Alright. That lizard folk is dead. Quinn, it's your up. Which on your turn, go ahead and roll me moonbeam damage.
I upcast it again, right?
Yes. It doesn't take a spell slot, but the damage will change each round is all. Oh shit, yeah, even if he's saved, he's dead.
And then can I move it?
You can.
Yes.
You can move it 60 feet as an action.
All right, I'm gonna move it.
And any creature that either starts their turn in it or the moonbeam enters their space for the first time on the turn, they take damage. So You can hit both of those guys. You could also go and hit the shaman if you wanted to, but Moonbeam, there's no way for Moonbeam to non-lethally do anything, so... let's see.
Or can I? Or I can. As it passes through them, it takes damage. They take damage.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay,
you don't
okay,
have
never
to.
mind.
You
So I
don't
don't
have to
position.
leave it on them. Correct.
It's like the war weapon. What was that? The one where like you aim the laser and it just comes down in this pillar of laser. And you just kind of cut across everybody.
Oh, the Hammer of Dawn.
Hammer of Dawn. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Just.
Yup. So when it's first cast, it has to be in the space of the creatures for it to do damage, but on each turn that you move it, whoever, like, if it hits it, so, like, let's say, for instance, you were to make it mow through this this group of people right here, every one of them would have to make a dexterity save or take the full damage. It doesn't have to stop on them. Also, I just noticed that for some reason all the lizard folks that are already dead from the last combat have max health, and I don't know why that is, but they are dead. They did not come back.
They're undead lizard folk.
Lizard folk.
As I'm gonna run. I'm gonna take my movement to move closer to. But I'm purposely pass Kevin's character and just let her just say, I guess we'll get to see what you made of. Good luck. And then I just move past and say that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and move. And this
I
lizard
did.
folk. Okay, cool. This lizard folk's gonna dash. This lizard folk is dead as well. Vikavor will look at you, Quinn, and be like, "Are you sure we want to keep the shaman alive?"
Classic.
Can I like retcon my movement to like slap him in the back of his head again?
Sure. You can run up to him, smack him in the head, then run past Angelica.
So yeah, so
Excellent.
I'm gonna smack
You
him.
have to do that.
And then
Dude, I love this dynamic of like the good Quinn like teaching Vikavor these lessons of
I
being
don't know why. Like, I'm imagining like when Vikavor gets slapped, like making that Dexter's Laboratory ass slapping noise.
So for you, Angelica, as you hear the slap connect, you can hear a completely different voice be like, "Ah, you son of a bitch!"
What the hell was that? I didn't see his mouth move.
Maybe we can talk about it later.
Right. This is an interesting team of people.
Vikavor asks again, "Are you sure we want to keep him alive?"
are you supposed to be echoing, Brady?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
I'm like checking to make sure I don't have two Discord.
Oh, I know
Yeah, I
why.
was
I was wondering if
My
my
morph box was tagged, and so was my normal mic. So, see, I can echo now, and then now I'm not echoing. At the push of a button. Y'all don't hear that, by the way. I just like to do those laughs because they're fun. So once again, Vikavor, without the echo this time. Quinn, are you sure I can't just kill him?
Yes.
He holds out his hand and he'll cast his Eldritch Blast non-lethally, and that is enough to do it. Yeah. With force damage, so any spell, I guess, that does force damage, I'll allow more than likely to always do non-lethal damage, because it's, Force damage is kind of coincides with the damages of melee weapons. But he casts his Eldritch Blast. He smacks the lizard folk shaman, and like you can see the sort of like blood and saliva like pop up in the air, like as it hits him under the chin, and he just falls back. You can hear all the lizard folk kind of look up there, and they start to talk in their own language. But he'll shoot his second Eldritch Blast and miss any of the creatures that he would have shot, and end his turn. Moving a little bit back because that's what he do. This lizard folk will dash to the edge of the cliff and take a defensive stance. Snoopy, you're up.
I'm gonna. Can I tell if I'm hidden or not from this guy here?
He does seem to have an eye on you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna blink up to him, and then get on this side and no, not that side. Not that side. That side. Just like a couple feet, and then I'm gonna stab him.
All right. 14
Man,
does
I look
not hit.
Can I do the dagger
Yep.
or the kukri?
The Kirkary
Dang.
does hit.
I really wish I had advantage.
I know, right? And that is enough to kill.
Kukri does triple die.
as he did that, I'm like, the dog teleports too. This is rich.
Let's see.
And then
I'm
I'll
gonna
go.
change something on your sheet real quick so that it actually does the proper. It triples the die instead of doubles, right? So
Yeah. That'll triple my sneak attack too, right?
yeah, all damage die.
I think I might switch to 2 Kirkby. And then for the remainder of my movement, I'd like to like stand between the legs of she-woman here.
Angie.
And
Okay. So folk shaman is knocked the hell out. He has already taken moonbeam damage this turn. He runs up the cliff right in front of the shaman and holds a defensive posture. And the other one runs up there, and you watch him as he kneels down and he grabs the shaman and he starts to pull him with him. Top of the round, it's your go, Angelica.
Staring at this fellow. You guys really messed up now. And I use my bonus action to go into rage.
yeah, but yeah.
Right.
And then I move over to this fellow over here. And hit him twice with my cestus.
Alright. You guys watch as Angelica, and the cool thing that you notice is as Angelica kind of starts to shout and, you know, do the Super Saiyan power up, you see the spikes on her armor start to grow a little bit. You see her cestus start to grow these spikes that protrude from all sides of it. You see her horns start to grow a little bit more, and her teeth sort of like enlarge a little bit as she goes into this rage. And she just barrels over this body, goes in for a right-handed haymaker. Go ahead and roll your attacks, please. That'll hit, and that'll hit. So both of them hit, and that's actually enough damage to kill the dude. Now, since it is melee, is it non-lethal or is it lethal?
This is
I'm just
non-lethal.
asking because Quinn specifically said, so I don't know if
I'm
you would be like, let's save as many as we can, but
like it's non-lethal, but I am beating his face in.
yeah. So Angelica runs over, and as she goes in for the right hook, she smacks the lizard folk right in the face. And as his face is flying to the other side, her other fist is already there to intercept. And with the momentum, it just spins him in a 360, and he falls flat on his face. The other lizard folk that's right here kind of eyes you and looks at his friend, and you can see him gearing up, ready to leave.
And after that, I'm gonna use the rest of my movement and walk towards him. And I'm gonna end my turn there.
Right. Folk is dead. That lizard folk is gone. And is this lizard folk right in front of you? He will attack you twice with his club and his shield. He rolled 2 11s, which does not hit you. And as he goes in with his club first, and it hits you right on the shoulder, and it actually puts like a dent into the club itself. And as you kind of look at it, you smile. He goes in with his shield and tries to stab you, and it hits your abs, and you flex to where it's almost as if you're wearing some sort of like steel plating, but he tries to jab right in your abs, and you kind of just like puff out your chest a little bit, and it sort of knocks him back, and you can see the sheer terror in this creature's face. He's never seen anything like this. He throws his club down to the ground, and he starts to run away.
You know what's happening. You just hear me.
If you wish to opportunity attack, you may.
No, I'll let him leave.
Tamsin, you're up.
Cool. I will. Dead. So both of the lizard folk that are near me are running, right? They're running away.
Correct. They look like the one you've seen, the one that was right in face to face with Angelica, tuck tail and run. The other
Okay.
one looks to like sees everything that happens with Angelica and does not want to be anywhere near that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna use Chromatic Orb. Can I use it non-lethally, or does it have to be lethal?
I'm pretty sure because all of it is elemental damage, it'll most likely be all lethal. Unless
Okay,
you can
well-
paint me a picture that seems non-lethal. But I think of Chromatic Orb as like little rays of, you know, almost like a plasma beam of the specific damage type, so I don't foresee that being...
Oh,
able
see,
to
I'm
be
just thinking of like a
non-lethal.
ball. Like, I kind of want to just bowling ball the guy that's trying to pull the shaman away. So I was just thinking like a blue ball of energy, just like see if I can knock him over or something.
I'll tell you what, since he's at full, or since he's got a lot of HP, if you do damage that doesn't exceed 5 after he's put to 0, then it'll be non-lethal.
Okay.
I think that's what I'll do for normal spells that aren't force damage.
Okay. Well, I'll
is-
use Chromatic Orb on him.
You will have to move up about 20 feet, but you
No,
can
I'm gonna
hit
use
them.
sorcery point.
Oh, distance spell.
So I'm gonna stay
Nice.
right where I'm at.
He's still standing, but you blast him. What damage type was it? It doesn't matter, but for flavor it does.
I like ice. I used ice, so it was like either like a opaque white ball or just like a glowing blue ball.
Blue balls. If you wish to move, you may. Otherwise, Quinn, it's your up.
I'm good.
So just to be sure, if I use a spell, or if I drop concentration on this, and that's it. Is that an action or a bonus?
Nope. It doesn't take an action. You can drop a concentration spell at any time, regardless of whose turn it is as well.
Okay, so these dudes are still alive.
Yeah, there's still, so all the pinpoints are the lizard folk that are still alive. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically there's 5 of them, or 6 of them, because 2 of them are knocked unconscious right now.
Okay, so I'm going to move up a little bit and then drop my concentration on Moonbeam.
How do you do the thing where you make multiple points?
Make it so you right click after you get it somewhere.
Cool.
Likewise, I think you can press Q again as well. Yeah.
Goddamn.
But how do you make it move though? I keep forgetting how to.
What do you mean? So when you click and drag it and you've got it, all you do is wherever your cursor is, you do that. If you're saying like make your token move, you have to have your token moving, and then you click kind of like that, and it should make it move. Did your token move when I did that for you?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
That's
So it'll show it on our side, or on your side, you'll just see your token end at the ending point. For everyone else, it shows the path. And I don't think there's a way to make it to where everybody, or that you get to see the path unless I were to do it.
So did y'all just see me go crazy?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no way you can end there, but
Wait, how do you do that again?
Alright.
So when you click and start dragging your token, you'll press Q, and it'll show you. It'll have you selecting your token, but also showing the distance. And when you right-click on different squares, the moment you let go, it'll move it, and it'll show the exact path. It's very useful, I guess, for me as a DM, especially if I were to use like natural hazards and stuff like that, so that I can see if you got into it, if you have to take damage or do a roll or something like that. But I'll let you know when I need to know your exact path.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you cast Conjure Animals?
Yes.
What do you conjure? Owls?
I must switch it up and do a bunch of wolves.
Dire wolves? Okay. I think I already have dire wolves as a creature, so let me bust them out. Yep.
I'd like Snoopy to attack tactics. Brady, you should add that.
Add what?
Pack tactics to Snoopy.
No.
He wants to
So
run
just
with
so
the
you know,
wolves.
Direwolf with a challenge rating of 1, you only get 2 of them. Where do you want them?
I want one of them. I want one of them up there. Actually, I want both of them up there where the shaman is.
Man, that would be horrifying.
Just out of fucking no. These
Yeah.
direwolves are
Right?
so
These
scary.
two massive dire wolves.
Snarling at you. Like, God.
So you guys watch as Quinn, he starts to walk up very, very slowly. You see the moonbeam disappear, and when he casts his spell, he points to where the shaman is, and all of a sudden you can hear the leaves sort of rustling, and you see this greenish energy come through, almost like little spirits, and they sort of intertwine with each other and then separate, and then form these two large dire wolves that are made out of like leaves, twigs, branches, and pieces of the forest. And they turn and look at the creature dragging the shaman, and they're just, they're snarling at him. And he's over here like, you can attack with your dire wolves and move them on the turn that you cast it. Also, I will be making the dire wolf usable by you here in a second. I just have to change the plate.
Let's make sure. Brady, where did you put my sheet for this,
The dire
animals
wolf. So if you go
Yeah.
under the players tab, and you'll see conjure animals, the dire
Oh,
wolf should
that's
be
where
right
it
in
is.
there. Yeah, pretty much anything that has to do with your character or you guys, like specifically, will always be under the players tab, with the exception of magic items, because they have to do with magic items specifically.
Oh, that's a nice boy. Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bite the one that's trying to drag it.
All right. I'm assuming, is it non-lethal or?
Yeah. We can make it non-lethal. I don't know why it DM'd. DM'd you.
That's because it's a creature. All my creature tokens are whisper, so I just have to change it. I'll do real quick. You do get pack tactics, so it is a 17 to hit, and 5 is enough to knock that dude out.
And then I'm gonna move them up next to them because they do get movement too.
Oh yeah, they got 50 movement speed. They're
Okay,
speedy
so-
boys.
Actually, let me move here to kind of block them, but then can I move this one to flank?
You don't need
Yeah,
to flank.
and
Oh, because of pack tactics. Okay, no, then yeah. So I'm just gonna
I don't
block.
know if you knew what pack tactics meant.
No, I was reading it. But yeah, so I'm gonna just have him block the shaman, so nobody can come get him, and then I'm gonna bite this.
okay. Yeah, that'll definitely hit, and that's enough to non-lethally knock him out. Tight.
And then
So, you guys watch as Quinn's wolves just start to, with their tree bark fangs, they just bite into these lizard folk like on their legs, to where it's enough pain to where they get knocked out from the sheer amount of pain that they're suffering. And then you move the other one right there in front of that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to fix the token. I think I fixed it. Almost. One more thing I gotta fix with it. But that is his turn. So this lizard folk sees the wolves and decides to just tuck tail and run. Vicavor will move up a little bit. I don't think he can see. No, he can see him. He will cast 2 Eldritch Blasts. Both of those hit. This is damage, right? Nope. I don't know why I don't know why it did that
no,
again, but
again, that's weird.
yeah, because I had changed it. So a 7 plus 4 and a 4 plus 4 equals the amount of damage that this gentleman took, not the 14. So let's see. Might actually still be enough. Nope, it is not. It's close though. And I'm going to change that again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh, that's why. It's got the cantrip dice. There we go, that's better. Sick. Alright, back to our scheduled broadcast. This lizard folk is going to take the dash action and run away. If your dire wolf wants to make an opportunity attack, it may. Gerald,
Let's
take that as a no. Snoopy.
Is there any of them? Oh, there's this guy left. He's dead. Hey, I can get to him if I dash. So I'll bonus action dash about halfway. And then when I get there, I'll blink in front of him. Surprise, motherfucker. Stab him.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Looks like I
14
made
does
it.
not hit.
So then I'll do my second one.
And that will hit. That's enough to... Do you want to kill him or non-lethal?
Oh, he's dead.
Okay.
Snoopy's not into the taking prisoners business.
So, Angelica, you watch the little dog go, "Arr!" and then start to run, and then all of a sudden just disappear. And as he reappears, he's in the air, and he uses his mage hand rapier, and he does a stabbing motion, which the lizard folk kind of dodges out of the way. But as Snoopy's coming back, he's like doing this 360 spin, and with the curry in his mouth, he slices right at the throat, and you can see the blood spray as the lizard folk falls over dead. And then he... Arr.
Oh, that dog is something.
My tail's kind of wagging now. Snoopy has some bloodlust going on right now, so watch out.
With that, it is top of the round with Angelica.
Alright, would it be an action to pick guy right here?
I think so, technically, but I'm also not worried about it right now.
Okay.
You can just
so-
object interact.
Alright, so
I'll look it up real quick.
I'm gonna grab that.
Yeah, technically you have to grapple the target in order to move them, so it would take an action to do so.
So I'll just use an action to grab him, and I will walk him.
And I think since your powerful build racial trait, since you technically count as large whenever you're lifting or anything like that, I'm pretty sure you don't suffer the difficult terrain when you're moving somebody. Oh no, 2 sizes larger or smaller, so you still do, it's still considered difficult terrain. So you can move at half movement speed when you're grappling and moving something.
Alright, I'm gonna bring him. Right
And I
here,
remember
so-
now, if you're dragging an ally, I count it as your object interaction. When you're grappling or trying to move an enemy, it will take the full action. And he's, we'll say that he's sharing your spot. I'm just putting him right there so that we can see both tokens.
Okay. And then other than that, I'm in my turn.
Alright, Tamsin, you're up. Right now, you see that the two lizard folk to the southwest are tucking tail and running.
Okay.
Everybody else is unconscious or dead.
I'm just gonna hold my axe.
Alright. Quinn. Oh, Gerald.
I'm finna move up real quick up to where
Alright.
the shaman is. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Is this like where I am? Is that a tree?
It is.
Okay, so I'm gonna have the dire wolves or one of them pick up the shaman in their mouth and bring him over to me.
Okay. So when he's dragging, he can move it about 20. He can move it 25 feet.
Can I shout to Quinn? Send me one of your dire wolves.
Sure. Quinn wants to comply, he can.
Yeah, so I guess we'll move to 20 feet.
Yeah, he can move 25, so it'll be like right there in front of you.
Yeah.
And then your other guy's got his full 50.
I'm gonna have that one dash over to Snoopy.
Ooh, so 100 feet.
When it gets over to me, or I want to hop on it, and I'm basically ready. I'm going to try and pursue these remaining lizard folk.
Okie dokie.
I just need more speed.
Direwolf dashes over, and it sort of gets low, getting ready for you to get on its back when it comes to your turn.
Sick.
Anything else from Quinn? Any movement? Or spells? Or actions?
Nope.
Tucking tail and running. Vikavor will up. Let's see, 60 feet. I don't believe his Eldritch Blast can reach that guy. Because he didn't take the one. But he can shoot this other guy, so he will. He'll only hit one time. This guy will dash. It's 30 plus another 30 off screen. Snoopy, it's your go.
So let's say Goopy come, and then it's 60 feet or 55 feet. So I want Goopy to come up to me, and then I want to hop on this, or I'll make him go into my whatever, and then
Yeah, your flask.
on for flavor, I blink up on top of the dire wolf, and then how does this movement work? Will I need to wait till Quinn?
Yeah, so you have to wait for Quinn's turn for the direwolf to move.
And so
If
can I
you're
do
riding it.
my turn on that turn? So that
It would technically be holding an action kind of thing, but I know what you're trying to get at, so yeah, we'll allow it. But in the
If not,
future,
it's
it will
totally
be
cool
like
if
a yeah.
And my plan's probably to dismount anyways, but so yeah, I want the direwolf to sprint after those guys.
Okay. All right, Angelica, you're up.
Alright, I drop this lizard folk right, and I move over to the deceased lizard folk there. And I
Okay.
take another blood sample.
Okay. So you guys watch Angelica go over, and with the fresh kill, he's able to pretty much kind of squeeze from the torso, like where the heart would be, and as he's mimicking the heartbeats, you can see the blood sort of pulsing out of the wound on the neck, and he's just gathering more blood. I believe so far you have 4 vials.
Mm-hmm.
And with this one, you can gain an additional 4, or gain 2 with an action. Really, you can. Pretty sure you have like 30 vials on you, so you fill up as many as you want, honestly, and let me know, or just type it into your sheet somewhere that you have X amount of lizard blood or lizard folk blood.
I'll keep like 6 vials.
Okay. Tamsin.
I guess I'll fly forward a bit to head off where everyone else.
Okay. You wish to cast a spell or do an action or anything, go for it.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Quinn, your turn.
So the direwolf that has Snoopy, we're gonna dash. That one's gonna dash towards the lizard folk.
Okay. I believe, let's see, 25 or 80. So it's like on its next turn, it will be able to catch up to this other lizard folk. But the other guy is going to be, I think, a total of 2 more turns after the direwolf moves its first one. So 3 turns for the direwolf to get to the other guy, and it'll take 1 turn for it to get close. But Snoopy, on your turn, you'll be able to do your blinking off of the direwolf and attack that lizard folk.
Okay.
Now the other direwolf that has a shaman, I'm gonna have it drop it near me. And hold on. A traveler pack has just typical rope, right?
Yeah, it's got hempen rope.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that out and use it to tie the shaman up against the tree on my turn.
Alrighty. That lizard folk books it. Vicavor move up, and he's in range of that other lizard folk too, so he'll Eldritch Blast, miss, and hit. Putting him to 1 HP.
We're limping to the ultimate degree.
That lizard folk is trying to get away. Snoopy, on your turn, you will be able to use your blink to get to him, though.
Okay.
You can go ahead and roll your attack.
Sweet.
And as both of those lizard folk are running, as they look back and see you guys running at them, they make this different type of call. I am unable to mimic what the call sounds like, but it kind of sounds like it's not like the Velociraptor one, like that call that they do in Jurassic Park. It's more of like it sounds almost like the rhythm of a cicada, except for, reptilian.
I'm having a really hard time imagining it. I think you should still try to do it anyway. You freaked Cleo out.
Good.
My cat is not okay.
Cece's staring at me too. She's like, I was sleeping, bitch. So yeah, it's like kind of like a gurgly, but it's definitely lower pitched than what I could do it.
Okay.
But yeah, the 14
That's
misses.
And that one
That
hits.
is enough to kill. Yes, and that one kills it. And then, for the sake of ease, with the dire wolf running 100 feet, you're able to catch up to the other one. Go ahead and roll to attack that guy as he continues to get deeper in the forest, making that same that hits, and that without the sneak attack is enough to kill.
Sick. And I will ask the direwolf to take me back.
He will comply and go back to his master that summoned him. So Snoopy's gone. You guys see him on the back of the direwolf sort of dipping in the trees, and eventually he goes beyond your sight, but you can hear the screams or the call of that lizard folk, and in the middle of its call you just hear it silenced. And then about 12 seconds later, the dire wolf is running back, gets to this site, and brings itself and Snoopy closer to Quinn. I'm assuming in that time that you guys would gather all of the unconscious lizard folk and tie them up. I did the liberty of bringing their bodies closer together for you.
I want to go over to Angie, and I would assume I'm pretty much covered in blood at this point. I'd be like,
Correct. Clifford the big red dog, except for a beagle.
you want some of my blood? Too bad it's not mine. And I turn around and walk over.
Roasted.
That was savage.
All right, and so I'm assuming is it are we still in the initiative or we're
No, we're done
Can't you
with
hear the
that.
birds chirping? I think that's
hey
the...
man?
Yeah, this is peaceful. Next combat, though, we're gonna fight to peaceful music and see how the mood feels.
Peaceful ass whooping. All right, I'll walk over towards like the unconscious and squat down to his level and just get real close to his face and just look at him. And then I look over to Snoopy. Hey, you mind if I borrow your kukri?
Why?
You already know why at this point.
You gonna kill him?
No. He's a special kind of lizard folk. I figured I might as well get a sample of him as well.
We need to get you a dagger, buddy. And you know what? I hand him. It's on my bio, I think.
Pretty sure you have a dagger that you're not using, or now that you got the kukri.
I hand him this ornate sacrificial dagger
Oh, neat.
I
that I got from Barovia, and I say, "This fits you about right. Here's your blood.
The
Your blood."
the dagger has a fixed ruby in the pommel. The sort of the cross sectional piece looks like bat wings, and where the knife portion protrudes out of the handle, it looks like a sort of like a demonized sort of vampire bat with fangs coming out, and it's got the typical sacrificial sort of like swirl, where it looks like soft serve ice cream for no apparent reason, like
look
the
at
It's
it.
blade
not magical,
itself.
right? It just looks
No,
cool.
it's strictly for sacrificing babies or something. I don't know.
I look at it and then look at Snoopy. Look, yeah, you keep that. And then with the one of the spikes on my forearm, I I prick the unconscious shaman a little bit,
Okay.
and then I pour the blood into 2 more vials.
I insist
So you
that
can put
this can be your blood gathering stabber.
So
You
I'll
sure
just
you
put it
don't
under
want it?
like lizard blood, or like would it be like a separate category?
I'm typing it for you. That way Snoopy can RP with you.
Uh, well, that looks a little sketchy, you know. Not too
You're a
fond of that.
tiefling, right?
No, I'm
Oh.
not.
Should Snoopy know that he's not a tiefling?
Roll religion. All of you can roll religion. Except for you. You know what the hell you are, Kevin. Get the hell out of here. I don't know
Maybe
what
how,
I am.
how uncultured I am.
All right, I'm gonna retcon what I just asked according to my role, if that's okay with you,
Yeah.
Brady.
Well,
Yeah,
with that
that's
roll, he
perfect.
might actually not know what he is.
You're a half orc, right, Angie?
No,
That's beautiful.
Uh,
I'm what you call a demiot or demiot. It depends on how you say it. More like a mixture of like a how would you say yeah, a devil creature and a giant. That's what they told me, right? Yeah, that's what they told
oh, that's kind of neat. Well, the devil, this dagger belongs with you, man.
me. Yeah, no. I'd rather use these babies right here as I crack the knuckles on my fist with one hand.
Then why'd you ask for my kukri?
Just to get the blood sample. After cut it, I need to get a cut on this thing somehow.
I know, that's why I was offering you my dagger. I don't need it.
I'd rather not. It's looks
Take the
it looks
dagger, and I stab it into the side of his head.
Go ahead and roll an
No, I'm
attack roll.
Firmly
Take the
grasp
dagger,
it.
you bit! I'm giving you a gift! Welcome to the team! Here's some pain!
But yes,
Firm
Yeah, I'm
grasp.
still trying to figure out what the why you asked for it and then not want it.
no, because it looks sketchy, dude. Like I'm weird about cursed looking.
All right, I
Bro,
pull out another dagger because, of course, I have more.
bro,
I pull out this other dagger, and the hilt is a rat head. How about this one?
Yeah, sure. And I grab it and flick the red head off the knife.
No, it's like
Believe that
it's like
the
made.
yeah.
It's a
Oh.
rat head dialed.
Oh man, I'm uncultured. All right, I think. Well, much appreciated. Then I put it in my
Or I
pack.
have this one, and I pull out this one. It's like a human bone. It's not the size of a dagger. This one's probably the best. It's like a little
Ooh,
1 damage type knife size.
well, never mind then. And I hand you back the other dagger and take that one.
It's made out of human bone.
No, that's quite exciting actually. At least doesn't look like it'll be used for like a sacrifice or something. That kind of stuff weirds me out.
Oh yeah, that thing's definitely. Never mind. Well, there you go.
Hold on, that weirds you out, but you're out here ripping people's arms off. Quinn
And
raises one eyebrow. You make no sense to me.
well, maybe if you finally tell me your name, then I'll make a little more sense to you.
Quinn refuses.
Whatever. And I fill the 2 vials. Finish filling the 2 vials with the shaman.
Okay. Because of how small the indent of your, I guess the prick on the finger would be, it is not enough to kill the creature. So you are able to squeeze the blood out of him, but he starts to kind of groan and move a little bit. He doesn't wake up. None of them wake up for probably a while. Yeah,
Are they all tied up?
correct.
Okay. I didn't. I heard him tie up the shaman. I didn't know about all the other ones.
He didn't say anything, but I assumed that he would go through the same.
Yeah, we can tie them all up
Same
in
Yeah,
steps.
you should never assume that the DM assumes you're doing something smart.
And then
I guess that's true. I assumed one time with the other group that they did something dumb, and then I got bitched out about it.
Uh-huh. But
Sounds about right.
Apparently I shouldn't. Yeah.
that's our responsibility to tell you the smart things that we're doing.
Yes.
As
I will go with that from now on. Continue, Kevin.
as I'm finished like filling up the vials, I tell everybody, well, judging from those noises, I suggest we get out of here soon. That calling I heard, and I look towards Snoopy. Sounds
Snoopy
like
walks over to this lizard folk and pees on him.
no.
Roll a d4 for damage. Urine damage.
Acid
I'm just
damage.
joking. Yeah. 1 acid damage. This shit is potent. I'm just kidding. That doesn't happen.
As that's going down, as he goes over to the lizard folk and pees on him, I walk up this hill. And, this body's all right, right?
I believe those were moonbeams. So yeah, they're not destroyed or anything like that.
Okay, so I go over to this.
They are a
rock
little
and
stronger looking than the other lizard folk.
I go over to that one, and I will do the same. And I go ahead and prick with my my spikes on my forearm.
Okay.
Well, no, I pull out that dagger and cut a big portion to get a lot of blood. So I get 2 vials
And
out
you
of this
can
one.
just put however many vials of blood you want, up to 5 from these guys. Just put lizard folk stronger blood or some, I don't know, something that lets you represent that these are stronger lizard folk.
Beefy boy blood.
Yeah, beefy lizard folk blood. Vikabor goes, Quinn, why did you want this shaman? Why did you want any of them? They tried to kill us. I think we should reciprocate.
I give a nod to Vikavor, like, yeah.
Well, before you became all suicidal the other day, or not the other day, or earlier, I was trying to get some information out of him. So I want to try and like wake this dude up.
All right. How do you go about that?
I take
Selling salts here.
yeah, I was gonna use like druidcraft to see if I can wake him up by something like stink.
He'll put his finger up his
Okay.
own ass and like smell this.
Smell my finger. Age-old joke, y'all. Age-old joke. So you druidcraft like skunk smell, and you can see him kind of like his eye sort of twitches a little bit, but ultimately he stays unconscious.
Hey, and then I kind of shake him a little bit.
Shake him, and his head just kind of flops around. From what you can see is that he is charred to shit after taking 2 fireballs. He's definitely knocked the fuck out. Roll nature.
While I'm doing that, can I go over to the shaman and pour some of the water in my canteen?
Sure. As Quinn is sort of studying the shaman, Angelica gives the shaman a little bit of a bath. And Quinn, you can tell from the beating this thing has taken that it's going to take either a couple of hours for it to finally regain consciousness, or it's going to take some sort of healing magic.
Yeah.
Hey Quinn, why don't you throw down one of those healing circles and they can heal me all the way up and he can get like one little shot of it. Me and Vikavor can heal all the way up. Or not, that's cool, I guess.
I'm like trying to figure out the best way to do it without like doing the most. I could have swore I had another healing spell, but never mind. I guess I'll just do it. Or actually, hold on.
I wish Ethan was here. I'm almost certain he would just defy you and kill those lizard folk, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it myself, cause
either way, I got what I needed, so I care less now.
And for you, Angelica, you have a special sort of pouch that actually is able to keep. It's not magical by any means, but your employer gave it to you because it's able to preserve blood for a lot longer periods of time, upwards of 30 days before it becomes untestable with their methods.
Okay.
It's almost like a cooling vessel in a way. Like there's these rocks inside of it that are just naturally cold all the time. Every time you've touched it, it hurts to where you actually take cold damage. But the material that it's sort of surrounded in is unaffected by it.
Dope.
Anything, Quinn, for healings? Besides your unicorn spirit?
Oh,
Okay.
so you're just
So you put your
healing him.
unicorn spirit.
Jesus.
I mean, if anything, as I look to the rest of the party, I mean, we could take this one with us. I mean, he'll wake up eventually, right?
So who do you healing word is my question.
Vigavore, Snoopy, and the shaman. Well,
so you
I-
cast healing word
I'm-
on someone
I'm
specifically.
gonna cast healing word on Snoopy, and then
Alright.
since Unicorn is out, I'm gonna heal Vigavore. And
Okay.
The
This Vicavore, it will get 8 HP back. Snoopy, you'll get 8 plus 6 back. And the shaman will get 8 points back.
Sweet.
So as Quinn heals Snoopy up, everybody else that needs it ends up getting a little bit of revitalization, including the shaman, which at this point, he kind of cracks his neck from the left and to the right, and then shakes his head, and he's starting to get his bearings, and he tries to move and realizes he's tied down, and he looks at you and sort of hisses. Why? Why bring destruction to our sacred forest? Why do you kill our tribe when we are hurting?
Hold on, hurting how? You guys attacked us earlier.
As a defense, the town outside has been hiring mercenaries to kill us, and they have been wiping us out little by little. We are unable to repopulate. It seems that every few days a new caravan with explorers come, and they get told to come and kill us.
Is that what this is over here? And I point towards the caravan and how it's like damaged.
Yes, we thought they were coming to kill, so we killed first.
While I'm standing behind Quinn, I'm just crossing my arms.
This forest is sacred. It is our job to protect it. But it is becoming more impossible, as you see. And he tries to look around the tree, and he sort of shakes his head in various directions to essentially trying to point out all of his dead comrades.
So I kind of turn towards Angelica and ask if she can verify it, or since you've been watching them, do you know anything about this?
Yeah. I've seen a few caravans come through here. But me not wanting to intervene, I just watch.
You are just as bad then.
Yeah, well, yes and no.
It is mating season. Our eggs are very, very delicate. We must defend them, even if it costs our lives.
Well, that's understandable.
You all will feel her wrath. Who have done a great displeasure to our god.
Her who?
Yeah, her who?
We worship the great green lizard.
Ah. Yeah. Great green lizard. I have a feeling what that is. Happen to be a dragon.
No, a great green winged lizard. No dragon.
It's a dragon, and I turn and walk.
I go up and pat him on the top of the head with my mage hand and say, "You're sweet, sweet primitive beast brain."
And he will actually try to bite you at
He's gonna try and
disadvantage
bite
and
my
misses.
mage hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, he bites through it, and doesn't do anything to it. But he hisses against. She will be displeased. Do what you
pull out.
must. You will all
I,
die soon.
I want to pull out that bone necklace from the other shaman. He's like, "What's all this about, huh? You like these?"
Another shaman. One that you murdered.
Is he wearing a similar one?
He is. It does have different types of bone fragments. Essentially, the way it looks is there's like a small creature skull, followed by like two long bones on each side, and then another small creature skull. They vary between like rats or birds, or even one of them. His largest one is actually a small goblin skull.
Does either one of them look more impressive?
The one that you're looking at looks relatively the same in terms of the amount of bones. So you're not really sure how they judge
Hmm.
the shaman's power based on that. Do with me what you will.
I walk towards him.
Uh,
Look,
where?
I know what this looks like, but I can guarantee me and the rest of this party here had no intention of dispersing your folk. I know me, for one, I actually seek peace with you. I understand that you were defending your part of the land. I just seek to understand.
And you will watch as your friend. They all just kill and kill and kill. I know that if you're able to bring this type of power, the other scouting party tried to make peace with you, yet they all they all died. You're merciless.
I understand.
Murderers.
And I'm sorry what happens to your people.
Bah!
Look,
Keep your sorries. The Sarth will teach you. Yes.
Where's this great green lizard located?
Deepest portion of the forest. Go to her, the waterfall. Speak upon the top your greatest wishes, and throw into the lake below your greatest treasures. Then, perhaps if it's a worthy donation, she will reveal. Or, if it's not worthy enough, you will die. And with the blood on your hands, I don't believe you'll ever be able to appease her.
I look towards Quinn and the rest of the party. All right. What did I get myself into? And I squat back. I stand back up and walk back off.
Well, he said do what we want. I say quarter.
Uh, I advise against it, but it's your choice.
Okay, and then where is this waterfall located then? You said deepest part of the forest, but you have a general direction we can go?
Shaman just stares at you and hisses.
I asked the same question again.
He just stares at you in the face and doesn't say anything.
I
Alright.
walk over.
Nah, I asked the rest of the party, do y'all have anything else for him? I got what I wanted out of it.
I squat down and can I roll for intimidation and ask the same?
Sure.
Well, he's not budging.
As he's doing that, I want to bite the throat out of this guy.
Okay. That guy dies.
I guess that would hit anyways.
I make a wincing face, like shit, like damn it.
Yeah, I look wide-eyed at Snoopy.
Murderers.
Okay.
Move over to this one.
all.
Nah, I'm okay. So with the dire wolves, we're gonna non-lethally knock him back out.
Okay. Since he is grappled and restrained, eventually they will be able to deal 8 damage regardless and knock him out. And you're attacking the other 2 lizard folk there, Joe?
No, I was gonna maybe do it for intimidation, but didn't seem like he cared at all. So I'll not do it.
Okay.
All right,
So you have 3 lizard folk tied to a tree.
Was this a horse-drawn carriage?
Was it a what?
A horse-drawn wagon?
Yes, but you do not see any horses.
Are there any horse tracks?
Yes, and they go towards the north. In fact, Angelica, you would have possibly... Actually, Angelica, roll me a perception check from before this whole thing started. You remember hearing the carriage crashing and hearing the neighing of horses and the screams. And as you were walking towards the location, you saw the horses galloping towards the north. Granted, that happened roughly 10-15 minutes ago. So they are long gone at this point.
Pretty far away.
Yeah, I refer that information to them.
So even though since they're knocked out, I'm gonna go ahead and undo my rope and take it back.
Okay.
Also, Brady, could I use mold earth to dig them like graves or dig a hole?
He buried them
Yeah.
alive. Yes.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dig, I'm gonna mold earth on all of them or the rest of them, and just leave it to where their heads are sticking out.
Okay. So, and you're not doing this, you're just doing this to the 3 that remain, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna mold earth everybody.
Okay. Okay. That's all right. So it takes you, I'll say it just takes you a minute of spell casting. And eventually you dig out the earth and you put them in there to where just their head is sticking out of the dirt and they're knocked unconscious still.
Also, can Can we hear like a river or anything like that? Like just water in general?
Roll perception. All of you can. You there, Kirsten?
Tweety. Every time I see that bear
You
folk
want
guy.
Sorry.
you want to roll a perception check to try to hear a river or any type of water?
Yeah.
Okay. Snoopy and Vikavor are able to hear a babbling brook coming from the north. Sounds to be pretty close. Angelica, with you having been here for so long, you know that to the north is a large river that empties out into the lake, but you haven't ventured into the forest at all because you were keeping your distance and respecting the lizard folk.
All right, I relay that
You
information.
guys are, yeah. Okay, so now you guys know that there is a large river that empties into the lake to the north of you.
Okay.
Now that you know this, are you sure you want to do this?
Being sure and actually needing to do it are two different.
Yeah,
Being sure.
you sure you want to do it? Because this
Well,
could get quite deadly for all of
we need to do it.
us. All right. I'll tag along.
Before we go, I'd like to grab the bone necklace off of the shaman.
Okay,
So I'll
now
just
you
mark
have
in my
two of them.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna adorn. Oh, whatever. If it's cursed, whoops. I'm gonna wear one of them.
Okay.
They're pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they look,
Pretty
one,
metal
they're
for
handmade.
hell.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Hey,
not something that you see all the time.
hey,
That's for
Brady,
sure. Yo,
does Victor have his hood?
he does.
Walk over to the and poke the back of his head.
Ah! Stop that shit. Hey, yeah, if you could not do that, that would be great, actually.
Oh, I knew it. Knew that wasn't you. What the hell? Ah,
He takes off the hood and he's like, well, and he turns his head around and you see like almost a older looking gentleman, just the facial features though on the back of the head. He's like, "Oh, you're disgusting. You literally look like a cheap whore, but worse. Almost like some strong man was merged with a very ugly woman, and now that's you. You are from hell, aren't you?"
that's rich coming from a giant wart.
Touche, you fuck.
I like him. And walk back over. Hmm. You you seem to not be too familiar with these folks.
Who do you say that to?
Tamsin.
Okay.
I'm not. We've only been traveling together for a couple days, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, so far they seem interesting.
Yeah. that I can definitely agree on. Especially the dog. And I walk and go over to Snoopy and squat down. You are truly special.
Your little leg.
You want a piece of jerky?
Um, have you ever seen a dog that like is really well trained? Like start to get trained, they start offering like different behaviors. Like I sit down really fast, I like reach out to shake, I spin around in a circle.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I I take a piece of jerky and tear a tiny piece off, and I put it on top of Snoopy's nose. Now, stay, stay. And I put the piece on top of his nose. And like, wait. After like 5 seconds pass,
Okay, I want to do a couple things for this. To wait, I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm able to wait, and then when I do it, I'm gonna flick it up super high, blink up into the air and catch it, and then land.
yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. And
Do a flip and stuff.
I gave him a scratch under. Yeah, consider
So,
he's a talking dump.
guys, you guys maybe think that we could just like I don't know, take a breather real quick. Just 10 minutes is all I need, really.
Yeah,
Roll my dog warlocks.
I mean, I'm okay, but I'll do whatever you guys do. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can rest for 10 minutes.
Works for me.
He's
All right.
going to roll 2 hit die. Actually is enough for him to get back to full HP.
I will roll 1. Perfect.
That's enough for you. You get any class abilities back after a short rest, make sure you regain them. I'm pretty sure it's just Vicivore. But I don't
Rage
remember
back on,
this.
you could rage back on short rest or long rest. I didn't check.
I think rage is long rest.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I
You
might be
do
wrong.
have a special feature. Your special feature for being able to end those conditions, I think, is short.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. All right.
And yeah, it's long rest for the rage. All right. Well, I guess go to the river and just follow it. Is that what we're doing?
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, lead the way.
Okay.
So Quinn, you just left those guys to be like eaten by rats and bugs?
Yeah. And he calls me a monster. But no,
Cool.
seriously, we shouldn't leave them out in the open like this. Honestly, since this is their territory, it would be best to have them not restrained by any means, even if
Does
it's
anybody
dirt.
have any claymores? We can set traps for the other lizard folk that come to help them.
Yeah. I don't have anything like that. Not that I'd want to do that anyway.
I'm sure their people will come find for them. I mean, all they have to do is pretty much yell from what we gathered, so I'm sure they'll be. We don't need to kill anybody else. And I look at Vicavor as I say that.
Come on, man. Like, self-preservation at its finest. That's all it is. You heard them. It's either kill or be killed. I'm just playing their game.
I could just tell by the look of his eyes, he's quick on the trigger and a one-liner kind of guy.
I was waiting for it. He kind of glances at you. Huh. Well, I think maybe we should take a ride on your little pets here, Quinn. Get there a little bit faster.
Yeah, that'll be a new one for me. Ridden on horses. I've never ridden on a direwolf before. Should be interesting.
We'll ride on my.
Y'all are seriously trying to ride these things?
Why
Well,
not, dude? I already rode one.
yeah, I mean, since
I
you
mean,
can
you're small.
willy-nilly.
Dude, these are horse-sized wolves. You know that direwolves are huge.
I'm not that heavy. I'm
Well,
only
technically
like
they're large.
270 pounds, but I'm okay.
Orcs ride them all the time. And orcs are way
Right?
bigger than.
Exactly.
I mean, it's up to y'all. I'm not riding it though. How many can they fit, Brady?
Since Tamsin can fly at the same speed that they can walk, they can fit Angelica and Snoopy together, and you and Vicavor together.
Okay, well, I guess y'all mount up how y'all want to do it, I guess.
Hey, pup, come here. And I pat at my thighs.
As you pat your thighs, a dog instantly appears in your thighs.
Perfect. All right, well, onwards then. Excelsior.
And Quinn, you specifically weren't gonna ride on them?
No, I was gonna walk and just take in the area,
Okay.
kind of just survey the field.
Okay. That brings me to my next question. What pace do you guys go? Do you go at a slow pace, a normal pace, or a fast pace? And do you guys match Quinn's speed, or do you go faster than Quinn? Because the direwolves and Tamsin can do that easily each round.
See ya,
Well,
Quinn.
whatchamacallit,
And I
I
guess
have
actually,
full
Quinn,
control over
you
them.
control.
Yeah, I control them, so y'all
you
gotta
keep
go
them to
where
your
I
side.
go. Yep.
Tight.
That would be hilarious though if like we went to fast speed and you see Quinn just doing a brisk jog next.
All right, Saitama. So I take it.
Probably just
Normal
normal
speed?
pace then.
I would say normal.
I guess, yeah, normal speed. And as we're going, I look down to Quinn. All right. Well, judging by you summoning these beautiful creatures we're on top of, I'm assuming that you're a druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new one. Never met a druid in person before. Only heard stories. That's pretty cool. Is there any other creatures you could summon?
Kinda, sorta.
Ew. Could you I don't know, summon like a herd of crows or a flock of crows or something like that?
You want to find out?
Let's save it for our next encounter. How about that?
Okay. And then Quinn just goes back to what he was.
And then,
Also, I'm making it obvious that I don't want to talk to you.
hey, you can look as annoyed as you want. It's not going to bring your friend back. Just saying.
I stop and I tell the direwolf to kick Angie off of it. Can I do that?
Yeah, I'll have it be a strength athletics check to see if the dire wolf stays on and if the dire wolf's able to kick him off. So on the dire wolf sheet there, Gerald, just click the strength, like the
Yeah.
word STR, and then Angie, you go ahead and roll your athletics.
Hold on, give me a second.
Wait, what about me?
You as well.
You said so. Just click strength. You said.
Correct.
Can I do acrobatics?
Sure. Okay. So the dire wolf sort of bucks up and then like twist and turn, and it's able to like knock Angie off to where because of Angie's low roll hits the ground. As Snoopy was in Angie's lap when this happened, he just blinks right back onto the dog or the dire wolf, and it doesn't seem to care.
Well, I understand your pain, but that don't mean you take it out on someone else, especially someone who helped you.
So Quinn turns around. I guess wherever you are, just looks at you. You say help, but from what you were saying, you were watching this go down the entire. So I feel like you're just as responsible as this guy. And then I look towards Vicavor again. That this has happened.
Well,
Just don't
I don't know why
speak
I'm
his
being
name.
the target.
just don't like no, just don't mention it. Just don't mention it. I'm just coming to grips with this. He was a close friend of mine.
noted. And then I get back up and I continue to walk.
Okay. As you guys are walking, the river is probably it's about half a mile away from where you're currently at. So it only takes, 5 minutes to walk up there. And then you start to follow it. And as you're following it, everyone go ahead and roll me perception, please. Four. Okay. So as you guys are walking, an hour goes by, the dire wolves disappear, which Quinn would probably warn you before it happened. Unless you don't want to warn them, then let me know. Otherwise, I think Quinn is not much of a dickhead. So, what's your take on it, Gerald?
You were fading, kind of cutting out there for me. What you?
Do you warn the party that the dire wolves are about to disappear after the hour goes up? Or
Oh
do you
yeah,
allow
yeah, yeah.
everyone to just kind of all of a sudden like pop uh onto their ass?
No, yeah, I let him know.
So you guys get off of the dire wolves and they vanish after aiding their master. And you're walking for quite a few miles. During this walk, Quinn and Angelica and you two see a couple different things. You see the birds they're not singing. It's actually once you get deeper into the forest, like it's almost become dead silence except for the river noise. You can see the birds as they're kind of flying around and they sort of land every couple branches and they just keep looking at you. And then they fly away and land somewhere else and then they keep looking at you. Eventually one flies off deeper into the forest without coming back. You notice that the squirrels and the chipmunks, as they're gathering their food and stuff, eventually when they see you guys, they stop and they just stare at you as you continue to walk down the river. Snoopy, you are uneased because of the fact that you don't hear anything. You don't hear the birds chirping, you don't hear the little squeaks of smaller critters and stuff like that. You don't even hear any sort of like frogs or fish swimming in the river. All you hear is the babbling brook, which leads you to believe that something's different about this forest. Vikavor and Hampson, as well as everybody else, what you guys notice is as you start to get uh, to where the river's starting to widen a little bit more and more, you're noticing these very large thickets. And these thickets end up sort of cutting off the path to be able to walk past the river. And Tamsin, this doesn't really affect you much since you can fly. But for everybody else, you guys come to this great thicket it's really just cut off your entire passage. It's about 50 feet tall, and it almost looks like it goes on forever. But there is a portion of it that seems to almost be like a sort of like a little gap that you can squeeze through if you wanted to. As you look on the other side of the river, it's the same thing. And as you start to look onto the other side of the river, the thicket essentially follows, making sort of like a tunnel for this river.
And you said how tall is
So
it?
essentially, it's about 50 feet tall. And you're not sure what exactly is on the other side of it.
I'm gonna send Goopy in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna see. I was gonna hold on. Let me look at it.
So Goopy comes out and starts to meld in with the thicket. And as he's moving across, you see the thicket sort of reverberate and start to move a little bit. Have Goopy make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Not gonna lie, I don't think it matters too much. Let's see. How do I do that, baby? Character sheet. I didn't know you had a character. Here we go.
There you go. So you Goopy takes 6 piercing damage as the thorns start to bounce around him. Um, after that initial bouncing, though, Goopy exits onto, or I guess you don't know this exactly, but Goopy does exit out of the thicket wall, and the thicket just goes back to being still. You can sense that Goopy is still active.
Okay. I'll say, hey guys, it looks like it's pokey, but made it through. Does anybody have a fire spell to like maybe kill this thing? Because I think it's alive.
I look at Vikavor and Tams.
I'll toss a fire.
Firebolt, okay. So you shoot the firebolt and hit like right at the base of a portion of the thicket, and you watch as the fire starts, and it sort of almost as it starts to grow, the ashes of the thicket drop, and you start to see as the thicket starts to spread, but suddenly from the ashes, more thicket sprout from the ground, covering up the passage, and eventually smother out the flame.
What next?
Brady, can I? I'm gonna use wild shape, but can I do like a lizard or like a gecko or something like that?
Sure.
Okay, so I want to wild shape into that and then see if I can climb or hang on to the thicket and kind of maneuver my way through it without getting hurt to see what's on the other side. Is that possible?
No,
I'm
for
talking now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, tight.
Yeah, now I
Gerald.
can hear you too.
Oh, okay.
Because it went
Roll
like
a
super silent.
roll the d20 for me. Nice. So you notice the thicket's trying to sort of collapse on you, but you're able to dip out of the way, and you do come out to the other side, and you see Goopy sitting there looking forward.
Snoopy's gonna trudge through.
What do I
Alrighty.
see on the inside?
So on the other side, you see that you can hear the river on your right, and you can see this thicket continues for about 20 feet before there's another wall of thicket. And as you look to your left, you can see that there's these tiny little openings every now and then. And go ahead and roll me just a straight intelligence check. And Snoopy, as you start to barrel through the thicket wall, that's what you said you were going to do, right?
I want to go through that hole.
What hole?
I thought you said there was like a little hole that like it could go through.
Oh, the little squeezy part, like 10 feet down from where you're currently at.
I might not be imagining the same thing as what you're describing.
Probably not. So think of a river to your right with a somewhat like not really a riverbed or anything. It's kind of like a 3-foot drop straight into the river. It's just like a cliff. In front of you is a very large thicket, and about 10 feet to your left is that sort of like small little opening that almost looks like it's inviting you to come in. Where you
And that's not where
guys,
Goopy went?
no, I didn't think that you sent Goopy through that part. If that's where you meant to
Oh,
send him, then I apologize. We can retcon that.
that's okay. I should have been clearer.
Hello.
It's inviting me to come. I'm suspicious. Would Snoopy be suspicious?
Hi.
Did you ask if Snoopy is suspicious?
Like, I'm suspicious. Is the way it is? Should it be suspicious?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of. I would say Snoopy's intelligent enough to be able to be like, all right, that's weird.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna go through this.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw, please, as the thicket starts to try to impale you, but you're able to get towards the middle, and as it sort of opens up, you can see the end, and you just blink to the other side as it starts to reverberate and stuff, trying to capture you.
Sweet, and I'll put a Goopy back in this vial.
Okay. Vikabor goes, guys, you really want me to just move through this thing?
Sucks to suck.
He looks to you, Tamsin. Can I just fly with you, maybe?
This is a one broom kind of gal, or one person per broom kind of gal.
Ooh. Well, maybe we can take turns.
No.
What?
Well, fine. He walks up to the thicket. Here I come. And he starts to try to move his way, but fails. And he takes 6 piercing damage.
We find this amusing.
Ow! Oof! Ow! Ooh, sorry! Oh! Ah, you fuck!
I have my arms crossed and I look at Tamsin. Want to try going down there?
I think I'll let him try to go through a little bit longer before we'll go help.
Well, he makes it out to the other side.
Oh,
And
good.
now it's just you two.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
we'll
go on ahead.
hold on.
Man.
He makes it to the other side. He's like, ah, thanks, I made it. No help from you guys. Thank you very much.
I
Pretty sure that's a Vikabor thing.
And then I look at Tamsin. Well, if you go in first, I can watch your back. You never know what pops out.
Well, I can just fly over it, right, Brady?
Correct.
Yeah. We'll just fly over it.
Eh. All right. Hey, how much weight can that thing handle?
Would you like a ride?
Yeah, sure.
You may join us.
Thank you.
I'll be honest, though, I don't think that both of you can ride at the same time, because or wait, maybe, hold on, let's look
I
at
think
it.
you can handle.
It says, while carrying, it can carry up to 400 pounds. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you're good. Because I know your character, Kevin, the race itself said you're anywhere between 200 to 400 pounds, and I'm almost certain that you are closer to the 200.
I'm 270.
Okay, and I'm 100% certain that Tamsin, being a half elf, is probably like 90 pounds wet.
I don't know. I've never actually thought of her weight, so.
Yeah, not many people do. It is important in some scenarios, but we will
Some.
say that yes, you are good to go.
Snoopy's only like 35.
Yeah, that's a
Perfect.
fat beagle.
Beagles are
Okay.
fucking dense. I have one.
Damn, dude.
I've had one. They are stocky and heavy.
So
Also, don't forget,
Tamsin,
and
as you and Angelica fly up, you can see that this sort of like tunnel for the river, it continues the whole way. And from what you can see at the distance that you're currently at, about half a mile down the river, you can see it sort of open up into a larger pool, and you can see the sort of spray coming off from a waterfall, but there's more thicket and trees that are kind of blocking your path, or your full vision, I should say. So it looks like you're about half a mile away from this waterfall. And
Yeah.
as you're sort of flying over the ledge, you look down. You can't help but look down, and you can see that this thicket. Roll perception, Angelica and Tamsin. You're able to sort of tell that this is almost. It almost looks like a labyrinth in a way. The way the hedges are give little paths, and then some of them come into dead ends. It's like a maze.
Eesh. Look at that. Yeah,
Interesting.
wonder how the rest are getting through it.
We're not.
By the way, you got you a cheat code here, and I pat the room.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, we'll probably have to let them know how to get through and direct through it.
you have a point. And then I try to signal. Hey, try. Are you able to go a little lower? See if I can shout.
Yes.
And I
So you
guess,
guys see that they're kind of in this open portion of this maze. And they're kind of just sitting, and they look up at you. Vikavor points and goes, "Liar!"
Hey,
This is a good payback for the questioning of our character you made earlier.
And then he kind of looks to Quinn and be like, "Is that fair? I don't think that's fair."
So I'm gonna. So I can see Vikavor.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna just hop on his head and make whatever sound a lizard or a gecko says.
He spits his tongue out and retracts it, and he does it again.
anything, it'll probably be like a sharp, like tiny squeak.
Yeah, something like. I don't think lizards technically, unless they're larger lizards, I don't think they make noises, but they might. But yeah, you
I think
make
it's like
some
a
noise.
hacking noise.
Is it like that turtle?
Something like that?
Sound like a shy guy or something. Like how they sound on. Just meow.
When chameleons get afraid or something like that, they'll be like ah, like they make some weird noise.
So you make this weird noise, and he's like, "Yeah, I guess that's fair." He says to Tamsin.
And
So
I shout
what
down.
do you see from up there?
Well, I can guide you guys out of there.
We see a maze.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, if you're able to guide us, that'd be tight.
Well, you head towards this way, and that's like start pointing in the direction you want to.
Are you purposefully muffling yourself?
Yeah, I was gonna say like you were muffled.
Hear me now?
It's still muffled.
Oh God! How about now?
Still muffled.
How about now?
Now it's perfect. Good. Are you able
Right.
to hear us too, Kirsten?
Better, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You guys are
What
like slowing down hardcore.
Interesting. I think that's on your end though.
It's
Which
like
is
Alright,
most
slow-mo, you know,
unfortunato.
like in the movies.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It is.
I'm
Yeah, it's definitely me.
gonna point that like I start talking and like guiding, pointing in a different direction and telling them what direction they need to walk in and everything else.
Okay. So you guys flying up top, you end up scouting out ahead, and you tell them to, hey, move this way, hey, go this way, and the party below start following that path, and it ends up leading you after about 30 minutes of going like back and forth, making some mistakes, but coming out. Ultimately, it does lead you through a lot quicker than it probably would have if you didn't have a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
And as you guys exit, you kind of go over this small little land bridge, and it brings you this location.
Christ.
Look at that.
Hopefully you guys have some spell slots still.
Yeah.
Are we up high or down low?
You guys are on the bottom portion of the map. So you guys are on level with the lake.
And I whispered to Tamsin, "Hey, want to land up in a higher portion just in case?"
Copy that.
So as you fly up, this cliff face right here is about 50 feet up from the
What are
lake
we
itself.
talking here?
These cliffs are 10 feet up each. And I was talking the waterfall. So if you look at the waterfall, from this location, from this lake up to here is a 50-foot drop.
Okay. Where
And
did you want to go?
as you're still flying, you do notice that there's like a almost like a, think of Pride Rock, except for not as copyrighted. Is like right here, and it kind of jets out over, and you can see that there's little bits and pieces of like clothing and like backpacks and stuff like that, like adventuring items that have been left behind. Pretty sure you can see, yeah, with your elven eyes. Well,
Very
half elven eyes.
reassuring.
Yeah, I say try landing like up in this area.
Okay. Shall venture forth slowly.
So as the two outsiders leave, I look over to Quinn and be like, so we're supposed to put some shit in the water, huh? This might be a good time to use our nifty little gold bags, huh?
think Gerald walked. He's
Yeah, he said BRB.
Oh, I see.
all right.
And
I guess
Vikavor
on
will
our
answer and be like,
Yeah,
what
Vicavor.
exactly do you mean?
Well, we're supposed to throw over a bunch of treasure to get our wish or whatever,
Yeah.
and we can get it back if we just throw over the gold stacks.
I like your style.
I kind of like have a moment and be like, this is more like my style. Who am I becoming?
Okay, so as Angelica and Tamsin land up there, and the other three are talking about using their gold sacks to essentially sort of scam the waterfall.
I landed
Uh,
behind the tree and I'm hiding back there.
okay.
There's no way scamming this magical force, probably dragon, can backfire. Zero chance.
So what does the party do? There are
I
three
think
of
we
you to
can.
make this decision, while our good friend Gerald is AFK.
all right. While I'm up here, I do see Tamsin hide behind the tree, and then I give her a thumbs up, and I move a little bit. And am I able to notice anything like as I'm walking?
Roll perception. So as you're looking around, you don't see much. The weird thing is that this whole location looks to be untouched, even though from what you've heard with the rumors is that a lot of people come to this location to make their wishes off of that waterfall.
Okay. And I continue to walk forward. And I want to check this patch of river.
Okay. As you're looking at it, the river seems to come from sort of, it goes for like about 30 feet or so, and then it's essentially coming from a cave almost. It's not like a big ass cave that you would normally walk in. It's more of like a like there's a sort of slit underneath a hill, and it's just streaming through. So it doesn't
Okay.
look as if it looks more like a tunnel system coming from the small mountain this area.
And how big is this small little river?
It's only about, this one's only about like 10 feet across, and it goes 30 feet until it gets into that sort of mound of rock where it's coming from.
And is it deep?
As you're looking at it, you can see the bottom, so it's maybe 5 feet deep at the most.
Okay, I'm gonna
But
walk
as you look
across.
over the cliff, you cannot see the bottom of this lake. Like, you can see for what you feel maybe is 20 feet or so before it becomes like pitch black.
I'm gonna walk across and go over here.
Alright. So at this point, the rest of the party sees Angelica jump down into the river and wade across. You are strong enough to be able to do that. The water pressure isn't enough to knock you off your feet. And you climb out on the other side.
All right. And you said where were the backpacks and whatnot?
They are over here.
Okay. I'm gonna keep venturing forward.
I'm gonna start making my way, like, kind of
Downtown.
walking
Yeah.
fast.
Vikavor will follow you. Where does Quinn wish to go in all of this?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't want Vikavor to follow me because I'm metagaming.
Oh. Vikavor will go up towards Tamsin.
Perfect.
What is Quinn doing?
I'm still on top of Vicavor's head.
Oh yeah, you're a lizard.
Excellent.
All right.
So
Can
this
I,
river is pretty much the same.
all right. And am I noticing? Can I notice? Am I running perception to see if I notice anything?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception. So as you're looking around, you're kind of looking at the rock, and then you're looking like into the river and down the cliff and stuff. You can see on the like cliff face, you can see gold coins and gems sort of scattered about. Obviously, people either really suck at throwing, or maybe they just threw so much at a time that some of it landed on the sort of outcroppings of the cliff. But you notice as you're looking down, like the sun or the clouds sort of spread for just a moment to where the sunlight hits the water, and you can see a sort of golden sheen coming from deep within the pool. But then the clouds sort of cover back up the sun and it goes away. Otherwise, you still see that this place looks relatively untouched. The only sign that anything else has ever been here before are the backpacks and the other adventuring gear that are left right over here.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go across the river to the.
Okay.
I'm
You
gonna
get over
check the
there and you
bag.
see backpacks, and they are completely empty. You also notice, after looking, that some of them look to have been torn by some sort of like massive claw.
All right, and then I go ahead and turn back and start making my way back to.
Okay. As you start wading through the water, um, is everybody else in? Is Snoopy just hanging out right there?
No. Just kidding, yeah.
Why, hello?
Unless you think I should move.
No, you're good. As
I'm going.
Angelica starts to wade through that river,
I was gonna set down
Well
torches.
now,
go for it.
you can't simply just leave like that. You're at the magical waterfall. Why not make yourself a wish?
All right. Yeah. I just came over here out of pure curiosity. But what would be the benefits if I were to make a wish?
You could be granted great power.
I put my hand on my chin. Well, power does sound tempting. But, I'm sorry. I'm unfortunately gonna have to decline.
Oh, that is very, very unsatisfactory. Are you perhaps sure you do not wish to reconsider?
Can we all
Yeah.
hear this?
Yeah. You
Okay.
hear it sort of reverberating from somewhere around the lake.
I want to send a message to Angie and be like, you should probably make a wish. Wish for eggs. Wish for dragon eggs.
Well,
After all, you did slaughter a whole scouting party of lizard folk. Don't you think that maybe you should pay for your transgressions? They were
what do you
simply
mean?
trying to protect their eggs, the poor critters. And here you are, coming through destroying things that you don't understand. Yes, I think that deserves quite an enormous, generous offering, don't you think?
Well, you have a point there. Though, I wasn't the one that killed them.
Maybe, but you've been palling around with these murderers for so very long. One can only think that their sins have become yours as well.
You're right. Guess I may comply for the sake of my safety. All right. I drop 150 gold.
Okay.
Oh, no, you cannot drop it from there. You must go to the pedestal, otherwise it doesn't count.
Well,
Go
where's
ahead
the
and deduct
pedestal?
150 gold. And the pedestal is back over here.
So, before I do this, I'm assuming the owners of this equipment here are no more because of
And what would bring you to that conclusion?
well, judging by the large scratch marks, I would assume that someone got taken from this very space.
Perhaps they did. Why do you think that I did it? Who do you even think that I am? I'm curious.
Hmm. Well, you're definitely not small. Definitely sound rather large.
This is a very large waterfall.
So who's to say that once I place this 150 gold here, that you just reach those claws out or that large mouth that you may have and snatch me up as well?
How about I do you one better? Perhaps you and your friends are already too close. Perhaps, maybe, just maybe, if I wanted everything that you owned, I would have taken it from you, as you tried to destroy my thicket. I did not appreciate that. I have grown it in a very specific way, and yet here you all are, capable of flight, something I wish that I could do myself. No, this is your chance to appease me. This is your chance to show me what you're worth without me having to take it from you.
Mm, drive a hard bargain. But you know what?
Ooh,
I'm willing to gamble.
how about this then? Now that you mentioned bargain, maybe, maybe if your deed or if your donation is good enough, perhaps, yes, you will be worthy for power beyond your imagination. Something that I might not be able to give you, but I could give you the location for it.
Mm,
I
you
happen to
speak.
know of a location of a dragon's egg, unhatched, unharmed. Probably within 20 miles of this fair waterfall. And if your donation is good enough, I could lead you there. But here's the caveat. You've got one chance. And if you do not appease me, well, I guess we'll have to wait to see. What do you think a dragon egg is worth? Make your donation.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff. And
I think
that's
that's
why it's
Brady's
called cliff.
specialty.
Like literally hanging from a cliff.
I try to leave every session on a cliffhanger because it keeps you motherfuckers coming back. Don't you know that's DMing 101, how to keep your players coming back. Cliffhanger.
They're not always easy to create either.
No, they're not. No, they're not. This one was perfect because you're literally on a cliff. Ah! That's perfect. I do not believe that I will have to skip D&D for a good while now. Now that I'm all settled in, so we should be back to our normally scheduled every Monday 6 p.m. Mountain Time. But I'm gonna go end my stream real quick, and then I'll be right back.
Perfect.
Alright, I gotta go. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Yep.
Bye,
Take it
Joe.
easy,
Have a
dude.
good night.
Tell Nicole hello.
Say hi,
Farewell.
hi to Nicole.
All right. So that was a literal cliffhanger, as they are on a cliff, and as you can tell, my viewers, that there are two, two green dragons here. I don't know if these players actually go and watch the footage or watch the video again. I know Ethan will, so he's going to see this, unfortunately. I should have put a disclaimer on when to tell him not to look. Or maybe I'll just tell him, whatever. If he sees it, it's fine. But anyway, yeah, there's two of them. And this is not, by any means, meant to be, a TPK. But we'll see what they do. Because it all depends on the party, they make the decisions, not me. Anyway, hopefully you had a good time, and we'll see you next week, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Peace!